So guys, talking about the leaks, of course, again, we need to talk about the ground changes that are coming. We're gonna talk about the vehicles a little bit later as well. I mean, the CEP V3 is coming for China, which is already something that I can feel that the US mains will riot about if they don't add a CEP V3 for the Americans. It would be insane to have this yet again happening. But yeah, let's talk about the other changes a little bit. So, two things. The ground BR is being increased to 12.7, and then we have all of these changes from the reloads, okay, for some vehicles. So, let's talk a little bit about them inside the game and talk a little bit about it. So, first of all, the BR changes, guys. Yes, this is great, but we need to keep an eye out. Why is that? Because decompression is always something that we have to have in the game. So, it's already insane that we have top tier of tanks being 12.0, while aircraft is 14.3. I honestly do not care that. Why is the reason for that? We need better decompression in the tanks. I already talked about how I'm researching these ready tech tree. I'm trying to research every single tech tree in the game. I mean, already did the US, the Russians, the Germans. I need to buy a bunch of stuff, as you see over here. The British I started, but I didn't finish it. You know, the list goes on over here. Japan, China. So I'm getting there. 3 nations that I really need to put my time in is these 3 over here. But yeah, for now, I was playing with these readies because it's shorter. And I was just having that. I already talked about this, man. We'll have a T-54 at 8.0. And then you have the same, in the same BR. Exactly the same BR. The Shot Kala left, the Magak 6A, the Magak 5, the Magak 3, and also something like a Type 69 over here. And why am I complaining about this? Because, for example, guys, and this is just a problem with BR compression, you have a vehicle that uses, of course, the heat, the APDS, the T-54s use, but it is not stabilized. It doesn't have any type of range finding. And it is in the same BR as something that has the hats, or a BR that has, where is it? Right here. An APF STS that it's not the greatest, but with a laser rangefinder. And if you take a look on here, stabilization, 2-plane stabilization. And then even on the Type 59, you know, 1-plane stabilization. So all of these performances, the hats, ERA like in the Magak 3, the range finding, everything in the same BR as something that doesn't have any of those. So this just tells me, I mean, while I was playing over here, that we really, really have a serious problem. I mean, I've been away a little bit from tank play, like real grind gameplay, right? And I'm getting back and I notice how bad it is, the decompression in tanks. I thought it was bad in aircraft. In tanks is way worse, right? So, yeah, they either need to increase the BR and rebalance this. So hopefully the 12.7 BR range that they're talking about, it's not for the new AAs. Hopefully it's not just for the Buck, for example, and some other AA systems. Hopefully it is for every single vehicle, and they scale down this decompression in the lower ranks. Hopefully they do that. It doesn't even need to be in this specific update, but it needs to be soon. Because if they don't do that, they can, you know, I don't know, change the matchmaking so that it doesn't bring 1.0 above and below. It's 0.7 only, for example, or something like that. But something needs to change over here, okay, guys? So I'm glad that they are doing that. So it's something that will probably, you know, help a lot of tech trees in a general sense. But then we need to talk about the reloads. So apparently the Russians and Chinese are gonna have some reload buffs. So all the T80s, so the T80 BVM, T80U, UD, all the UDs, right? All the T80U E1s, right? Because now we have 2 of them, if you know what I mean. The T80 UK, T80U M2, the space 80U, the Upload T, all are going to have from a 6.5 reload to 6.0, okay? All the T64As, apparently, I mean, there's only one, sorry. But yeah, the T64A, which is a 9.3 vehicle, will have a 6.0 reload as well. The T64B and the T80B will also have a 6.0 reload. It is 7.1 right now, except when you are using the missile launchers. The VT4 and VT4A1, so this VT4 and this VT4 are getting a 6.66, reload time. It is 7.1 right now. The T72s, then, it's not a big change, but still the T72s and T90s and whatnot, MBT2000s, the Al-Khalid, all going to 7.0. And sorry, the T90s are going to remain at 7.1, the T72B3 and whatnot, the T72B, the B389, right? All of these will remain at 7.1. And then the ZTZ96, MBT2000, the Sprut, the T90A, T90S, the T72M, etc., they are all going to have a 7.0. So that means that all the T64s, all the T80s, and their respective variants, even with a heavily upgraded model like the Plot, all are going to have a 6.0, reload. Is that a problem? I don't think so. For me personally, I don't think so. It helps a little bit. I don't know where this is coming from. Is this a balance thing, or they founded some files they're saying? That's the real problem with me. That they need to, when they do this, if they're doing this is a leak, of course. Maybe they will change because people will complain. But if such a low reload will come to certain vehicles, it needs to be explained where this is coming from. So I hopefully they do that, okay? Because it's not a bad reload that you have with the reload, like the auto-loading mechanism. What I think they are doing here, guys, is that they are actually increasing the reload, like the increasing the amount of fire you can put on the target, because they are adding more and more internal modules so that it's easier to destroy them. Maybe that may be a balancing factor. I don't know. I just have a feeling that it might be something along these lines, okay? So just for you to compare a little bit, like I said, this is more to the T80s and T64s. So, for example, I think the biggest winner over here is this T64A, which is a 9.3 vehicle, right? That will have a 6-second reload with a 125mm gun, right? So it has the BM22, which is a very modern round. I mean, the hats can do some of the penetrations here. So we can compare, for example, to the 105s even. But even then, you have a 7 point, like almost, I mean, unless if it's an ace, it's way above 7 seconds of a reload time. I mean, look at this. The normal reload over here for a similar in BR over here would be, 7.7. In this case over here, the original one, it's 8.7. So with my crew, it's 7.7, but with the original crew, it's 8.7, right? So you are having a 2.7, almost 3 seconds more time in reload in the 105s, right? And you will see that throughout a lot of these tanks that have the 105, right? It's pretty much the same reload. But we still have something like the KPZ that has a 6-second reload. So at the same time that it is a big buff, there are plenty of other vehicles that are already with this type of buff, right? So it is something that even if you go higher in a 9.7, T80s with 10.0 and stuff, if you go to, like, for example, an Abrams over here that it's close to 10.7, right? You will see that it is going to be better than the normal reload of the Abrams. But if you have a skilled loader, it can be faster as well. So I think it's okay as long as they say why they're doing this, because it feels like out of nowhere, right? So I know a lot of people will be pissed with this because, yeah, the Russians, they are very good tanks, of course. 125mm are always amazing. So auto-loading mechanism being faster helps a lot, right? So, yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about these 2 changes. I just wanted to talk a little bit about them in a more specific video, right? I'm okay with it just as long as they explain why on the very least, right? Because it feels out of nowhere. It really does feel out of nowhere. Like taking out more than 1 second of a reload of a tank like this. So, yeah, This is just a leak for now, so we don't know anything. This might be completely wrong, so we need to wait and see, right? But yeah, you can expect this to be something that it will come, okay? So I see you guys on the next one. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about these buffs and changes. See you guys on the next one, and bye.